Coming up on the April 27th edition of Carolina Week.
A glitch in the university's webmail system means you can send a bogus email from anyone's account.
Then this woman's helping the Free Bell campaign, but some say she deserves a campaign of her own. We'll have her story.
And in sports, if you've missed any basket, home run, or goal this spring, stay right here. We have them all ahead.
Plus, a look at your 4-day forecast. All that and more.
Carolina Week starts now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
Watching the Wednesday edition of Carolina Week. I'm Joe Mott.
And I'm Lydia Garlikov. A glitch in the webmail system that you might not know about has some here at UNC worried. Carolina Week's Courtney Robinson is here with more about these webmail woes. Courtney?
Lydia, thought you would be interested to know that I received an email from President Bush Tuesday night. Only looking at this, you wouldn't know it wasn't sent from the White House, but my house.
I don't think Monday was a big night out on the town. I definitely don't remember sending this.
No, this isn't from me.
That's right. They didn't send these emails. I did, and anyone can. Carolina Week found an option turned on in webmail, allowing anyone from any account to send an email addressed from you.
Well, I know that people can send spam through your email account.
But this isn't spam. It's forgery, and it's easy to do. By opening up webmail, clicking compose, deleting your name and replacing another's in the from line, then clicking send.
I couldn't possibly go through.
It does, and you've just sent an email that looks like it came from someone else's account. And with thousands of people using Carolina's server daily, how would you be discovered?
We could probably find what computer was used.
Right.
And if you had not had to log in, we would not necessarily know who the individual was.
ITS says more than 70 email clients are used on the system, with about 500,000 messages sent daily. But forgery isn't something technicians see often.
And about once a year we'll have an incident like that, so it's not a very frequent incident.
Although it might not be that common, it could still happen.
We are so dependent on email at this university, and we trust that they're real. And I think that that's really the problem, not a legal problem, but just how does the university work and how do we interact with our students?
The punishment for sending an email on someone else's account depends on a number of things, including how upset the person gets. But the bottom line is, a computer expert told me they probably couldn't find you in the first place.
So, Courtney, does ITS plan to fix this?
Lydia, as of Wednesday morning, ITS told me it's not easy to fix, and having this option open is actually convenient.
Courtney Robinson reporting from the newsroom. Thanks, Courtney.
Thanks.
In other news, it's been almost a month since police arrested pro-Union Lenoir employee Vel Dowdy, charging her with embezzlement, and the controversy continues. At the heart of the issue is Dowdy's relationship with Aramark, the contractor that provides the university's food services. Dowdy's court date is set for May 5th. Until then, students are continuing to express their support for Dowdy, both on the web and through public protests. Many students and Aramark employees voiced their concerns at Chancellor Measer's Student Forum Tuesday night. But Dowdy isn't the only face absent from Lenoir Dining Hall. Nora Warren is in the studio with the story. Nora?
That's right, Joe. Dowdy's on paid suspension right now. But there's another Aramark employee who wasn't as lucky. Sumter used to be the coffee and muffin lady at Ram Cafe, but chances are you haven't seen her this year. And there's a reason.
I didn't see it coming. It was like being blindsided.
Aramark Corporation fired her last June, stating she falsely and maliciously accused her manager of harassment. Sumter claims her manager in Lenoir Dining Hall told her on 2 separate occasions to ask female students for their phone numbers.
And he said, go over there, tell her your manager thinks that she's real cute.
Another current Aramark employee says the same thing happened to her. Although she didn't want to appear on camera, this worker signed a statement claiming, "I was to ask if they were single and if they would give their phone number." When Sumter complained about it, she was fired.
They treated me like a dog.
Carolyn Eflin manages Carolina's contract with Aramark. She says the university can't get involved in labor disputes with contractors unless a legal issue is in question.
Leslie's individual case needs to be handled according to the mechanisms that are put in place at Aramark. Aramark does have to abide by federal and state and local employment laws.
According to federal law, firing a sexual harassment victim is illegal. Sumter's looking for a lawyer to help her prove that what happened to her was indeed sexual harassment.
Pay me for lost wages, clear my name, and I'll leave y'all alone. That's all I want.
Chancellor Measer has asked the Office of University Counsel to look into all the concerns surrounding Aramark. The council will deliver its report soon. If you have a concern you'd like investigated, contact their office.
Nora, did you get a chance to hear Aramark's side of the story?
Joe, no one would talk to me on camera. The human resources officer did send me an email saying although the company would not discuss its policies or any of its employees, Aramark's policy is to follow all federal laws and guidelines. Joe?
Nora Warren live in the studio. Thanks, Nora.
Chapel Hill residents, you may soon be able to use credit cards to pay town fees such as business licenses and inspection permits. Starting May 1st, paying such bills will be as easy as buying candy at student stores. You can also make credit card payments by phone or on the internet as long as the charge is at least $10. You can't charge for public housing fees or Orange County taxes.
The town council and university officials are one step closer to reaching a permanent compromise in the debate about rezoning the future site of Carolina North. At Monday night's meeting, the town council unanimously agreed to cooperate with university officials to find a temporary zoning for the land. Mayor Kevin Foy says the move sets the stage for the town and university to work together to plan for Carolina North. Well, if you live in Chapel Hill, you know there are many homeless people in the area.
But what you may not know is their side of the story. Natasha Vuklik has more.
She'd stand a candy bar.
That's what Michael Prigden says when people offer to buy him something. Prigden says he had a steady job until physical injuries got in the way.
I broke the collarbone, and I dealt with that for almost 4 years. And then after that, then I ended up with a rod in my tibia.
Prigden has been homeless for almost a year. He can't get a job until his injuries heal. But he says healing is a difficult process when you don't have medical insurance.
If you had insurance, you get the top of the line help. But if you ain't got insurance, you're homeless, they look down on you. They treat you different.
If you walk down Franklin Street in Chapel Hill, you will most likely run into some people asking you for spare change. And while some may walk away or turn their backs, those who are asking for the money have another side of the story to tell.
Nathaniel Lee had a stroke that affected the entire right side of his body. He's been homeless for about 3 years, but Lee says he won't ask people for their money.
They're hard-earned money that people work for, and I can't ask for something somebody else works for. But if they want to give it to me, that's fine. If they don't, that's fine too.
Rainey Norwood is the shelter coordinator at Interfaith Community House in Chapel Hill. The shelter provides 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, along with other services for the homeless.
Majority of them, you know, they're great people. They just down on their luck.
Back on Franklin Street, Lee hopes to have his own success story one day.
I want people to walk by and see me smiling, because if you see me smiling, they'll smile.
Prigden also keeps his hopes up.
I'll come through it. I'll come through it all the way.
In Chapel Hill, I'm Natasha Vuklik, Carolina Week.
The Interfaith Council tries to help many homeless people find jobs. However, Prigden and Lee continue to struggle with job placement because of their injuries. We all know that drinking too much alcohol can be dangerous.
But drinking too much water? Believe it or not, that can be deadly too. Details coming up.
$50 invested in a mutual fund 20 years ago returned $452. $50 in the United Negro College Fund returned an award-winning actor. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Once you see the world through math and science, you'll never see anything the same way again. Go to girlsgotech.org.
You'll see.
Fitness magazines and even coaches often remind athletes to drink as much water as possible to avoid dehydration.
But as medical reporter Jocelyn Oberdick shows us, some athletes might be getting too much of a good thing.
It may come as a surprise to most people, but drinking too much water can actually threaten an athlete's health. Marathon walker Carol Krukoff of Chapel Hill found out the hard way at the end of a 26-mile race in Jamaica nearly a year and a half ago.
Right after I crossed the finish line, I collapsed. I got my finisher's medal. Then I collapsed. I had 3 seizures.
She had suffered from a condition called hyponatremia, or water intoxication. This is how water intoxication works. Athletes lose salt in their sweat during extended periods of exercise. By replacing salt lost in the body only with large amounts of water, athletes actually dilute sodium to dangerously low levels. This can interfere with brain, heart, and muscle function. Water intoxication most often occurs in athletes who exercise for more than 3 hours at a time. Experts say to avoid this condition, athletes need to get rid of their fear of salt.
We heard that, there's a tie or a connection between sodium and high blood pressure, so everybody cuts salt all the way out. For an endurance athlete, that's not good. We need sodium in our bodies.
For Carol Krukoff, that advice came too late.
The message is balance. It's really important to drink enough to avoid dehydration, but not so much that you get hyponatremic.
You can test whether you're consuming too much water by weighing yourself before and after exercising. If you've gained weight after exercising, experts say you drank too much. In Chapel Hill, I'm Jocelyn Oberdick, Carolina Week.
De Blasio says the key to preventing water intoxication is to eat salty foods like pretzels or saltine crackers, and to of course, avoid overloading on water.
Well, a lot of people chug water in hopes of shedding a few pounds, but good news for those of us concerned about our weight. A new study says it's okay to be a little chubby. Researchers compared the death rates of underweight, overweight, and obese people to the death rate of people of normal weight. The study shows there were 34,000 excess deaths because of being underweight and 112,000 because of obesity, but no excess deaths were tied to being overweight. If you're anywhere from 5 to 50 pounds heavier than your optimal weight, you are overweight. If you're closer to that 50-pound mark, health experts say you still need to lose those extra pounds.
Whether you're trying to lose a few extra pounds or just eat a little bit better, the U.S. Department of Agriculture wants to help. The department has done some restructuring and come up with a new design for the food pyramid. The USDA now says you should consider your lifestyle when you measure how much servings of meat, fruit, and vegetables you should eat each day. My Pyramid is the personalized approach to help you live a longer, better, and healthier life through a balanced diet and exercise. The 6 parts of the new pyramid include activity, reminding you of the importance of daily exercise, moderation, meaning the more active you are, the more fatty foods you can eat, proportionality, a general guide to how much you should eat, variety, to show that your good health depends on eating from each group, gradual improvement, suggesting you can benefit from taking small steps each day, and personalization, directing you to mypyramid.gov, where you can determine your serving sizes to a healthier you.
Tar Heel fans will likely never forget April 4th, the day Carolina won the national championship in men's basketball. But it's April 5th that many store owners will always remember. The day after the victory was the best day the Shrunken Head Boutique has ever had, and it's been open for 35 years. Anything with the championship logo sells, from these pint glasses and shot glasses to anything like shirts and hats. It's all the stores can do to keep stock on the shelves. Workers at the Shrunken Head have been working hard since the win to get the new stock and say they're reaping the benefits.
Whatever you put into your business or your love life or anything at all, you'll reap back from it. And we worked, me and my daughter and my other friends of mine and my regular employees worked nearly around the clock getting this stuff ready. And we got it. The next morning we were ready.
Henderson receives more shipments every day and expects the heavenly buying fever to last several more months.
Well, after a season of preparation, some hard work is paying off for students on Carolina's campus. Visually impaired students from across North Carolina came to play games like Braille Twister at UNC's Maze Day. Blind students were able to navigate through tactile, computer, and physical mazes because of new technology created by graduate students and staff. Computer science professor Gary Bishop dreamed up the idea and says it turned out to be much bigger than he anticipated.
It started out with me saying,
I think maybe we can handle 10. And I think, you know, by the time the day's over, it's going to be 60 kids came, nearly that many adults. The Apples program here on campus.
The department plans to hold another Maze Day next year. Well, Elizabeth Crumpler joins us now. She's filling in for weathercaster Meredith Croak, who's out with a broken ankle.
Elizabeth, the weather kind of has been all over the place lately. Please tell me that we've got some sun coming through.
Well, guys, Wednesday brought us some really nice weather. Nice enough for these guys to play a little ping pong to promote a soon-to-be-released student-produced movie. Coming up, I'll let you know what's in store for your weekend weather.
I hang out with a pretty trashy circle. The circle that helps this circle by recycling trash. We sort glass, plastic, separate cans, stack newspapers and magazines. Now, thanks to us, there are lots of products made from things we've already recycled. This cereal box wants your Sunday paper. These paper clips, in a more daring life, a 56 convertible. The circle works like this. It starts when we recycle trash at home and at work. It's completed when we buy products made from or packaged in recycled materials. How do you know the difference? Check the label for something called post-consumer recycled content. It looks like this. Make a mental note. Then buy the highest percentage of it you can find. You'll save a tree, you'll save energy, and in your own way, you'll help save the world. Complete the circle.
Call 1-800-2-RECYCLE for your free shopping guide. Environmental Defense, finding the ways that work.
Hi, and welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm Elizabeth Crumpler, here with a check of your weather headlines. Well, the showers and cool weather we've had this week are starting to move out just in time for the end of classes. We're going to be seeing summer temperatures and brighter days for the remainder of this week with a small chance of evening showers, so watch out for those. Now, taking a look at the satellite map, off to the east you can see the cold front that has just pushed through Wednesday, leaving us with clear skies and lots of sun that will warm up the cool temperatures we've been having. There are some clouds to our west that we'll be watching as we move towards the weekend. Now, taking a look at the surface map, you can see the high pressure system to our south. That is what is bringing us all this nice weather, lots of sunshine and warm temperatures for the rest of this week. But off to the west, you can see a low pressure system that's going to be moving through on Saturday evening, bringing the chance of showers to the triangle, so be on the lookout for some rain on Saturday night. And now for our Carolina Week 4-day forecast. As we saw on the satellite map, we'll be having much warmer temperatures. And it looks like it's going to be a beautiful last day of classes. Partly cloudy skies with a high of 76 and a low of 57, so spend some time outside, guys. Saturday will be mostly cloudy with a high of 78 and a low of 72. And that low pressure system that we talked about bringing a chance of showers on Saturday evening. So if you're headed outside to celebrate the end of classes, be sure you take an umbrella with you. And on Sunday, temperatures will cool down just a little bit. We'll see a high of 72 and a low of 45. It'll be mostly cloudy on Sunday, but by Monday, those clouds should move out, and we'll be seeing a high of 70 and a low of 50. Now, if you're headed to the beach this weekend to take a little break before exams begin, you're in for some great temperatures with highs in the low 70s and lows in the mid-50s. On Saturday, there's probably going to be a little bit of clouds with a small chance of rain on Saturday night, so you may want to wait and head down to the beach on Sunday when those clouds are going to clear out a little. And if you're headed in the opposite direction to the mountains this weekend, weather's not going to be quite as nice. We'll see a high of 66 on Saturday and a low of 50. And if you're planning on going for a little hike, maybe being outside a little bit, you might want to hold off heading to the mountains until Sunday. The clouds will be clearing out then, and the high will be about 61 degrees. Well, that rain might help you with those allergies a little bit, but if you've been suffering lately, you can blame the trees. There's a very high level of tree pollen out there. There isn't so much from the grass and the weeds, so you don't have to worry about it if you want to go sit and study on the quad, or if you just want to enjoy the warm weather and sun that's headed our way.
Well, that sounds great. The pollen, I tell you, it is caked over my car.
Yeah,
I didn't
really
drive for a
is.
couple days, and it is just impossible to clean. Well, thank you very much, Elizabeth. We appreciate it.
I've been outside watching these baseball and softball games, holding the tissues, trying to keep those sniffles back from all this pollen.
Definitely holding them back, but I mean, you might need those tissues again because we have some great sports moments from this past semester that we're going to show you.
All right.
So coming up in sports, hours of coverage condensed into 81 shots, 4 songs, and 15 Tar Heel sports. Go ahead and count them if you can.
Thank you, far too kind.
Can I get an encore? Do you want more? Cook and roll with the Brooklyn boys. So for one last time, I need y'all.
The itsy bitsy spider went up the went up the.
Get proper nutrition before it's too late.
I forget.
Call or visit WIC. WIC provides nutrition information, healthcare referrals, even food. Your child has you, and you have WIC.
So many things that's held us down, but now it looks like things are finally coming around. No stopping, no stopping, no stopping, no stopping, no stopping, no stopping, no stopping.
Welcome back to Carolina Week Sports. I'm Ann Sexton. It's been a great year to be a Tar Heel. Carolina basketball is back. Courtney Bumpers sits atop the gymnastics world, and Carolina has clinched the Carlisle Cup. Well, turn on the TV and get a box of tissues. Here's 4 minutes of everything there is to love about Tar Heel sports, and it's in review.
Boy, a rock boy, a fun toy, total Glock boy.
She's so fine, don't need all my other ladies.
Boy, I'll give you more. I'm a fly girl, and I like those hot boys.
Say what?
Baby, you got what I want.
No, she's a super lady. I'm wicked, I've gone hazy.
Those hot boys. Baby, you got what I want. See, 'cause y'all be driving Jaguars and the Bentleys and the Rolls Royals, playing hardballs with them platinum V's on. Trick me, got some friends, can they come too? Can you hook them up with some boys like you? A hot boy, a rock boy, a top boy, and I like those hot boys.
Could I have my baby, 'cause you know she's no fool. She's refined, I know she's a super lady. I'm wicked, I've gone hazy, yeah.
And the Rolls Royals playing hardball with them platinum V's on.
She's chic, but she's not shady, yeah.
Won't you really come and satisfy me? I be loving you like endlessly.
She's so fine.
I just gotta bring it to their attention, dirty. That's all.
You better watch who you're talking about. Running your mouth like you know me. You gon' fuck around and chill while the show me. Get called and show me. Why one-on-one you can't hold me. If your last name was Haynes, only way you wear me out is stitch my name on your pants. No resident of France, but you swear I'm from Paris. 106 carats. Total, no, that's Paris. Trying to compare this. My chain to your chain. Like sprint a Motorola, no service out of your range. You're out of your brains, thinking I'ma shout out your name. You gotta come up with better ways and actions to get your vein. All that pressure you applying, it's time to ease off. Before I hit you from the blind side, taking your sleeves off. As much as we's lost, still hard to please, boss. Don't be lying, the crying, suck it up as a loss. 'Cause your axe is whack, your whole label is whack. Matter of fact, hold that. I am number one. No matter if you like it, take it, sit down and write it. I am number one. Now let me ask you, man, what does it take to be number one? 2 is not a winner, and 3 nobody remembers. What does it take?
Ahead, long outside shot, short rebound, and May, it's over. Carolina has won the national championship.
Number one. number one.
Well, it's been an amazing ride, sports fans. Thanks for letting me drive you through it. Well, with the national championship and all the great teams we've had this year, you know, it's good to end on a high note.
Sure
It's true. We are sad that you're leaving, though, as well as all of our seniors. We're sad.
You know, coming from as a senior, 8 and 20 freshman year to what we're doing now, it does feel so good to end on a high note. Well, thank you very much, Ann.
Thanks.
Well, we certainly have come a long way during the past 4 years.
As seniors gear up for graduation, we'll take a look at what's happened during these groundbreaking years when Carolina Week returns.
So my kid brother and his friends want to party. Heck, I'll even buy the beer. Besides, if he gets out of line, he has to answer to me.
2.6 million teenagers don't know a person can die from alcohol overdose. Say nothing, do nothing, stop nothing.
Okay, so sometimes I turn my back on my kids when they drink at home. At least they're not doing drugs.
Underage drinkers are 50 times more likely to use cocaine than those who don't drink alcohol. Say nothing, do nothing, stop nothing.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
Those of you graduating this year have seen many changes during your years at UNC. New buildings arose and new titles were won.
Carolina Week's R.J. Weber thought he'd take a look at what's different from 4 years ago.
Sure, the bell was here, and so was the well, and even the old stone walls. But for students in this year's senior class, much was different at Carolina 4 years ago when they were only freshmen.
When I came in my freshman year, I was staying at Hinton James, the old one, and they were still building the new dorms.
For starters, the many freshmen who lived on South Campus didn't have the luxury of central AC and the comfortable living quarters the newly built South Campus dorms now provide. Those same students were also without the advantage of dining outside at the state-of-the-art Ramshead Center. Instead, they ate at what some would call the less desirable Chase Hall. 4 years ago, the basketball team went 8 and 20, and students could have only dreamed of the national title year that was 2005. Back then, this addition to the student union wasn't even here, and the undergrad, well, it was closed for updates and repairs. Carolina was certainly different 4 years ago, but seniors are sure one thing will always be the same.
When you climb up that hill, you're in a different, you're in a higher place, you're in a better world.
In Chapel Hill, I'm R.J. Weber, Carolina Week.
A lot can happen in 4 years. It is hard to believe it is almost over.
I know. On behalf of all of the Carolina Week crew, I'd like to thank the seniors, Joe and Ann, and all the rest for all of the hard work that you've done. We wish you all the best of luck, and we're definitely going to miss having you all around.
Well, thank you very much, Lydia. It's been a great 4 years, and thanks to each of you who are watching, and of course to my friends and colleagues up here. We are going to miss you guys very much, and I know all of us will miss you guys, the viewers.
Thank you for watching. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Go Heels!